Now we have Mr. Gene Coop on the universal water metering project, receiving disparate information. Do I have a motion to receive this information? Councillor Butler. Do I have a second? Councillor Thompson. Discussion.
Since I made the motion, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to discuss that. In Mr. Cook's letter, the Ombudsman letter seems to concur that the plumbing code does indeed require a licensed plumber to make alterations to a home's plumbing. That's what the letter stated. There's no, as far as I know, there's been no dispute to the fact that our water meters are not being installed by certified plumbers, even though many members of the public have made the city aware of the problem. I myself addressed council with this issue last summer, and I would suggest that the city needs to formally address and correct this problem.
Any other discussion? Councillor Crowe.
Yeah, looking at it, and the response from the Ombudsman, and it says near the bottom that they suggest that the BC Building Code Appeal Board would be prepared to hear the complaint should the complaint not be addressed. At this stage, it appears the process is not complete. So I know it's not a council of the whole where we discuss things with the gallery, but I'm wondering, has that, or has anybody taken that to the BC Building Code Appeal Board, and what was their ruling on whether putting a water meter, splicing a line to put a water meter in is alterations to plumbing?
Councillor Butler.
I have talked with one member of the public, Mr. Mayor, that has filed a complaint with the BC Building Code, and her letter that she received back was stating that it was up to the building inspector in Grand Forks to look into that issue. And of course her response was, well, it's the city that is proposing to put this into my house, but yet now you're asking the city to police itself. So she didn't understand the procedure. Other than that, I know that unless you've had one installed yourself, you can't actually file the complaint until you've had it installed. So if somebody doesn't want to have it installed because they want a certified plumber, they can't file a complaint until it has been installed.
Any discussion?
So could we see the motion back? Is it just received for information?
It's just for information.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to readdress this at a later time?
Worship.
Sorry.
We have the building inspector here, and our council would like to have him speak with regard to pieces of the building code that refers to this.
Okay.
Is the wish.
Mr. Cobain?
Yes. Mayor Conrad, Council. The gentleman you were speaking about at the BC Board of Appeals is Zachary May. I have been in contact with him. I was in contact with him back in October of last year. His opinion was that yes, a plumber is required according to code. Although the authority having jurisdiction, which is a city, may do the installations with certified installers as opposed to an actual plumber, provided that the work is warranted and that the installer is, what did he say here? Although this does not meet the code word for word on who can do the installations, he did say that he felt the city was doing the installations in a reasonable and acceptable manner. He also stated that the code does vary from province to province, and that should be the deciding factor in the installations. It sounds as though the solution that we are using is a better solution than having the homeowner do the installation themselves, which is your other option. So he was comfortable with the fact that we were using certified installers, and upon request, we would provide a plumber to confirm that the installation was done correctly, if requested.
But that is his feeling, and what position does Mr. May hold in the BC?
He's the BC Board of Appeals. He's on the Board of Appeals.
But Board of Appeals can't make any rulings on the plumbing code.
Well, he was the one that this lady had written the letter to, and he was the name that I was given to contact.
No, the Board of Appeals is another individual's name.
So,
But the article you're reading is part of the appendix ruling in the plumbing code.
yes, and we spoke
We're
about
using
that.
alternate. An appendix is not a ruling, it's just an advisory note to the plumbing code. An
That's
appendix
correct.
does not hold weight.
That is correct in that aspect. But we are the authority having jurisdiction, and at the time, the decision was made to utilize certified installers for this project.
As long as the city is acting on a supervisory role, was the city there as a supervisor, supervising the installations?
I don't know about that part because I wasn't, oh, Roger, Houston, did you hear that comment?
Was the city present as a supervisory role for each installation? That
No, they weren't. Not in every one.
So then the installations are null and void. They're illegal,
But are they?
according to the plumbing code. If you're proposing that the city would oversee it, but the city wasn't overseeing it, so then it's a cat chasing instead.
It's a really gray area because one of the things we had talked about was the fact that water meters are not specifically mentioned in the plumbing code.
But with all due respect, can we have a gray area? Do we want to be open for libel as a city? of
Well, at the time, the decision was made to do that. At that time.
Councilor Thompson?
I just want to make sure that what I heard you say, Mr. Copan, is correct. That your, Mr. May, I believe is the gentleman's name?
Zachary May.
Zachary May has advised that water meter installations can be done by certified installers at the, and I'm paraphrasing here, at the direction of the council. And I would have to conclude that the council at the time opted to allow the meters to be installed by certified installers. Is that kind of the long and short of it?
That is, although the part about the council, I wasn't in at that meeting, so I don't know if there was a decision made by the CAO or by council at the time.
Your worship, the council at the time did the resolution to go forward with the water metering program. And through the delegation bylaw, the CAO got the program going because he has the delegation to do that. And so then the RFP was put out, and all the outlines that were put into the RFP from the city were the ones that were outlined that described how that program is going to be laid out.
Yeah, because council doesn't have the expertise or the jurisdiction to initiate a program like this, as we discussed before on different issues. Councilor Thompson?
Thank you, Your Worship. I've asked and we've given direction to the manager of operations to prepare a report on the status of the water meter installations as of December the 31st. And I would respectfully suggest that that our discussions on this particular issue would probably be more meaningful with that information. My understanding is that there's not that many left to be installed, that the majority have been. And so we're going to have a discussion and make a determination, hopefully, what this council wants to do with that issue. And, you know, I have a meter installed in my home. I'm I'm not unhappy with it. The young man that did the installation was just a fine young gentleman, I thought. And he explained things to me very clearly and concisely, and he was in and out within a half hour. And I have no issue with that, personally. So I think to you know, we're going to kind of maybe going around in circles here with respect to Mr. Cook's letter, and I appreciate that he took the time to write to the ombudsman and shared their response with us. But I think until after we've had the report from Mr. Houston, we're just maybe, you know, as you say, chasing our tails.
With all due respect, Councillor Thompson, you cannot impose your personal experience on this issue.
Certainly wasn't trying to impose, just stating the
mention
fact.
it even. And contrary to that, your experiences may have been good, but on the other side of the fence, I've been receiving calls from concerned citizens, irate citizens, complaints, which now I'm advising them to put in writing and to send to the attention of staff and manager of operations, Roger.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, we are so off point on this.
Yes.
The motion is to receive a
Yes,
letter. It's not to
exactly.
do how your interactions were with the installer.
Correct.
The question in the letter was who undertook the installation of the water meter. Actually, did we meet the legal requirement? He says yes. You say no. We've hashed that out.
Yeah.
And I believe the motion.
Kind of gone out
received.
in left field.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Boban. All right, so
Motion.
motion to accept.
Yeah.
All in favor?